They're off in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. And it is Hall and Ice who's out quickly on the far outside. Praying has early speed. Hope Road is right up there with Ricci, Vava, and Splendora to the inside. They've left Cyclos behind as they leave the chute. Hall and Ice has taken the lead. And there goes Hope Road right up alongside of her. Ricci is there too. Praying is outside the top three, running along in fourth position in the early stages here as they run a quarter in 22.12 seconds. Splendora is fifth down on the inside, just ahead of Baba, and Cyclos is 8 lengths off the lead. Make their way to the far turn. Hope Road on the outside, Hull and Ice along the rail. Ricci nudged along to keep up with them. A length and a half to Splendora, who's just in behind the leaders with 3 furlongs to go. Then Praying, Vava, and Cyclos on the outside, 44.64 the half, and Hope Road has taken the lead on the far turn. Splendora has circled up on the outside, then Ricci. Hall and Ice down toward the rail. Vava begins her run, but she's got 4 lengths to make up as Splendora has taken the lead under Flavian Pratt with 1 furlong to run. Leaving stablemate behind, Hope Road second. Then comes Vava to the outside. Splendora running away in the Filly and Mare Sprint. She won it by 5 lengths on the wire. So they race for the far turn. She's So Spicy out there by 2. Invincible Papa second. Governor Sam rides the rail third around the far turn. A length farther back, and AG Bullet is up into fourth now. 4 lengths off the filly. She's So Spicy, who's by herself at the top of the stretch. She's So Spicy coming down to the 8th pole, a 3-length lead. Invincible Papa, Governor Sam next. Reef Runner coming late, caught him on the far outside, and AG Bullet, but there's no catching. She's So Spicy. She's so speedy in the sprint. She won it by 4 lengths on the wire. And then it was AG Bullet second, followed by Cottam and Reef Runner, and a final time of 55.24. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, and Straight No Chaser, Bentornato, and Madhouse go out to the front. American Stage is sent through on the inside of them to try to run with these speedballs, and 4 of them Duke get out early on, flying up front. Then Imagination, Mulligan, Dr. Venkman, and What You're Talking About on the outside. Nakatomi is next, then Vanishing, followed by the filly Copianus down toward the rail. Patriot Spirits on the far outside, then Big City Lights. Lovesick Blues is the trailer as they race for the far turn, 21.48 seconds. Bentornato and Straight No Chaser has the 3 furlong pole together. The 1-2 finishers last year, 1-2 this year on the far turn. American Stage from Japan is third on the inside. Mulligan is under pressure. Imagination is coming on now. 1 off the rail and moving up as they come toward the top of the stretch. Bentornato, Straight No Chaser. Imagination swings up on the outside. American Stage is running a big one too. Bentornato turns loose with 1 furlong to run. Imagination, second. Dr. Venkman closing outside, but Bentornato and Gerard Ortiz have won the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Ready to start. They're off. In the Distaff, Seismic Beauty took a bit of a bobble there shortly after the start. It is a wide open battle for the lead, which is going to go to Nitrogen on the inside. Now, there goes Scylla. Scylla grabs the front, and Jin Jin goes with her. And Seismic Beauty, who just took that small bobble, is moving up on their outside and is caught 3 wide into the turn. Nitrogen is 4th. And then on the far outside, it's Dry Powder running in 5th position. In between horses, Clico is 6th. Bring up another length and a half to Darth Vader, who races on the outside of Gun Song and a ground-saving Elise Verite as they head to the backstretch. Majestic Oops is next by 3, then Regaled and Sarawak Rim. The pace is very fast here, 22.27 seconds for Scylla, who heads up the backstretch a half length in front. Jin Jin is second, Seismic Beauty is third, Nitrogen a strong 4th right behind them, a length and 3/4 off the lead. The Dry Powder on the outside of Clico. 45.75 was the half mile. Gun Song is 5 lengths off the lead while down toward the rail. Darth Vader, Elise Verite, and Majestic Oops are next, and then Regaled and Sarawak Rim. But here comes Nitrogen on the outside of Scylla. And with 3 furlongs to go, Scylla responds. Scylla responds. She opens up a length. Nitrogen is now a length and a half behind. And then it's a 2.5 length gap to Clico. The others have been left behind. Coming to the top of the stretch, and Scylla turns for home in front. She's got a 2-length lead coming to the final furlong. Nitrogen is second, Clico is third, Regale has put it a bit on the far outside, but Scylla's running away under Junior Alvarado. Scylla by 4, Scylla by 5. Scylla so strong in the Distaff. She won it for fun. Nitrogen was second, and then it was Regale in third, followed by Clico. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Turf. And it's Rashabar who goes out to the early lead. Salawi goes right with him. These two out to the front together. Mini Hawk is close. And now redistricting comes through with Rebels, Romance, and Goliath to the inside. Wimbledon Hawkeye takes back behind them, and Amalak is down toward the rail. Three back to Rebel Red, El Cordobés, and Tawny Port. Then Hill Road to the inside, Ethical Diamond, and Gold Phoenix is last of them all, and he's 15 lengths off of front-running Salawi. Went 23.22 for the first quarter, so going a mile and a half, that's moving right along here. Salawi up top, the leader by 2.5. Rashabar, the closest pursuer, in second. Two-time turf winner Rebels Romance is tucked in third on the inside. Farther out, Goliath is in fourth, and between horses redistricting. The Hawk is outside, and then Amalak is down toward the rail. After that, Wimbledon Hawkeye, middle of the pack with 1 lap to go. Rebel Reds on the outside of Wimbledon Hawkeye. El Cordobés is next. And it's 2 lengths more back to Hill Road, who is just ahead of Ethical Diamond and Tawny Port. Gold Phoenix biding his time through a 47.53 half mile. Into the turn they go. Salawi all the way so far. The leader by a length and a half over Goliath. Rebels Romance is third on the inside. Mini Hawk outside in fourth. Rashabar fifth. Amalak is sixth toward the inside, 6 lengths off the lead, just ahead of Rebel Red redistricting and El Cordobés. A length and a half back to Wimbledon Hawkeye, and then Hill Road, Ethical Diamond, Tawny Port, the trailer Gold Phoenix. 111.99 for 3 quarters as Salawi heads up the backstretch in the Breeders' Cup Turf. The leader by a length and a half over Goliath. Mini Hawk and Rebels Romance are side by side. Rebels Romance getting an inside trip. Mini Hawk's going 3 wide. Around the far turn, Salawi, Goliath, and Mini Hawk. Rebels Romance needs a place to go behind them. Rebel Red has circled up on the far outside. On the rail, it is Amalak, and then redistricting, and they're into the stretch, and the filly takes charge. It is Mini Hawk who comes off the turn in front. Rebels Romance comes to take her, and Ethical Diamond is charging down the middle of the turf course and goes by them all. Ethical Diamond has taken the lead, and at 25-1, Ethical Diamond wins the turf. And then it was Rebels Romance second, El Cordobés was third, followed by Amalak and Gold Phoenix, and a final time of 2:25.45, a Del Mar course record. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Baeza was off to a slow beginning. Fierceness goes out to the early lead and runs straight today and straight to the front. Contrary Thinking now moves up alongside of him, and Contrary Thinking will take the lead. Forever Young is close. He's right there on the outside, and Fierceness is down toward the rail. Then comes Mind Frame and Antiquarian. Journalism is guided inside by Jose Ortiz. Nevada Beach is along the rail. Baeza is second last, leading only last year's winner Sierra Leone. Has the opening quarter mile in 23.04 seconds. Contrary Thinking out there doing his job. He's in front by 2 lengths. Ever Young on the outside of Fierceness, second and third. Break of two to Nevada Beach, who's down toward the rail. Mind Frame on the far outside. Journalism between those two, just 4 from the front. Antiquarian, and it's 3 back to Sierra Leone and Baeza. 45.97 was the half mile. With 5 furlongs to run, Contrary Thinking leads the field up the Breeders' Cup Classic in front by a half a length, with Forever Young right alongside. Mind Frame just to the outside of them makes it 3 in a line. Fierceness just in behind with Journalism to his outside. Then Nevada Beach, Baeza, Sierra Leone between them, and Antiquarian is the trailer. Around the far turn, Forever Young pokes his head in front. Mind Frame, and now Journalism confronts them. As Contrary Thinking drops back, Baeza is 4 wide. Fierceness in behind horses. Sierra Leone is right in contention too, as they make their way to the top of the stretch. And they're into the stretch in the Breeders' Cup Classic. And Forever Young turns for home with the lead. Journalism is second. Sierra Leone, Fierceness, 1 off the rail. Still for Sierra Leone and journalism. They're coming to the finish, and it is forever young. Celebrate Japan! They won the Breeders' Cup Classic. Sierra Leone was second, Fierceness was third, and a final time of 2 minutes, 0.19 seconds. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Mile. The Lion in Winter goes out to the early lead. One stripe on the inside. From the far outside, Kirat is sent along. Johannes is close as well. Then Rhetorical, Formidable Man, and Notable Speech on the inside. Salon in behind them, and then it's Jonquil. Program Trading is down toward the rail, about 8 lengths off the lead early on. Then comes Argine and Gran Oriente and Gatsby up as the trailer. One stripe takes early charge here, leads at 3/4 of a length. Kirat to the outside is second. The Lion in Winter third, 22.59 the first quarter. Rhetorical and Arad Ortiz are fourth on the outside. They're 3.5 lengths off the lead. Berto Rispoli has Johannes right in behind that group, racing 4 from the front. Then comes William Buick on Notable Speech down toward the rail. Formidable Man is next. In behind that group, Salon and Jonquil. Program Trading on the inside. Then Gatsby up, Argine and Gran Oriente. 46.76 the half for one stripe. A 50-1 long shot who leads the field around the far turn. Rhetorical ranges up alongside in hand, and now they're side by side on the far turn. Formidable Man tries to get going. The Lion in Winter behind them. Johannes swings up 3 wide. Meanwhile, Notable Speech is down toward the rail. He's got running room, but he needs to go now to catch Rhetorical with a furlong to run. The Lion in Winter, Notable Speech, and Formidable Man on the outside. Here comes Notable Speech charging up the fence. Notable Speech and William Buick explode late to win the Breeders' Cup Mile. And that was Formidable Man, the Lion in Winter, and Salon.
All right, Ahmed, it's
line. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. And Citizen Bull is sent to the lead. Nysos goes with him. Full Serrano is close. Then Touch of Destiny on the outside, racing for the turn. Goal-oriented, sits back, runs along in 5th position. They're moving right along early on. Then it's Tumbarumba, Will Take It, and Chancer McPatrick. So it will be Citizen Bull and Juan Hernandez to lead the way in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Defending champion Full Serrano right behind. The Uruguayan Touch of Destiny alongside of him. Length and a half back. Then comes Goal-Oriented outside of the favorite Nysos. They're 4 ahead of Will Take It and Tumbarumba. Chancer McPatrick trails. The pace is supersonic here. 21.74 seconds up the backstretch. Citizen Bull up top, the leader by a length and a half to Full Serrano in second. Touch of Destiny starts to give way now, passed by Nysos on the inside. Goal-Oriented on the outside, then Will Take It and Tumbarumba. Chancer McPatrick trails through a 44.96 half mile. Around the far turn, Citizen Bull on top by 2. With his stablemate Nysos starting to cut into the gap a bit in second. These two turn for home, 3 lengths clear of stablemate Goal-Oriented. Bob Baffert 1, 2, 3 here. Then Full Serrano and Tumbarumba. Chancer McPatrick has made ground on the far outside. Starting to close in, but a lot of work to do to catch these top 2 up front. Citizen Bull and Nysos. Nysos and Citizen Bull side by side and stride for stride. Who's it going to be, Nysos or Citizen Bull in the dirt mile? It is too close to call. Was it Nysos? Was it Citizen Bull? The Bob Baffert trainees noses apart on the wire. They're off in the filly and mare turf, and Be Your Best is the early leader, going immediately to the front from Village Voice, who takes a spot on the inside. Farther out, She Feels Pretty now moves up and takes second. Entering that first turn, Cathedral is in 4th early on. And it's Mission of Joy, followed by Between Horses Gezora and a 3 wide Cinderella's Dream. Diamond Rain behind her, and 3 lengths more back to Balatza. They're being followed by Stellify, who's down toward the inside. After that, See the Fire, Bedtime Story is second last, and La Kika is the trailer as Be Your Best and Arad Ortiz Jr. run a 24.36 quarter. Lead the way early on here in the filly and mare turf by 2.5 lengths over Village Voice, and She Feels Pretty heads up marked second and third by 4. Cathedral is in 4th, Mission of Joy 5th on the inside, then Gezora, followed by the 2 Godolphin runners who are right together. Diamond Rain inside of Cinderella's Dream. They're 9 lengths off the lead moving into the turn. Then Bedtime Story racing on the inside of Stella 5. Valenza is next. After that, See the Fire and La Kika. 47.43 the half mile. Onto the backstretch they go. Be Your Best on top by 2. She Feels Pretty on the outside is second by a head over Village Voice, who's down toward the rail. A 4-length gap back to Cathedral. After that comes Gezora and Mission of Joy. Then still together are Diamond Rain and Cinderella's Dream. They're still 9 lengths from the front. Bedtime Story to the inside. They make their way into the far turn now. Be Your Best on top with She Feels Pretty, 3/4 of a length behind. Village Voice, Cathedral next, then Gezora. Mission of Joy on the inside. Diamond Rain, Cinderella's Dream being asked for her run. She's 3 wide. She's got 5 lengths to gain. In the meanwhile, She Feels Pretty has taken the lead at the top of the stretch and opens up the lead by 2. Gezora second on the outside. Down toward the inside, running along in 3rd position is Cathedral. And then in the center, it is Diamond Rain. They're coming down to the wire. Here comes Gezora! Gezora runs down. She Feels Pretty to win. Then Diamond Rain, followed by Cathedral.